What is up, everybody, and welcome back to now episode 20. That's right, we've now reached 20 episodes of the Tightlines podcast, hosted by me, Tyler Plackey. In this week's episode, we're going to do another gear review, but this time we're going to go to a spinning reel. This week, we're going to talk about my current all-around spinning reel, which we talked about in the last episode, which is my Shimano Miravel 2500 HG. I want to review this reel for you guys. We're going to talk the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll talk specs, price, the rod I combo it with, and so much more here. Coming at you right here, right now on the Tightlines podcast. So, the first thing we need to discuss is how I got to the Shimano Miravel 2500 HG specifically. How did I pick this reel and everything that I've got with it? So, my first real big spinning combo I had was my Lose Mach Smash combo. You've heard me talk about it. It's a 7-foot medium heavy fast, or it might be a medium fast, with a 5.6 to 1 ratio spinning reel on it, 10-pound braid, and it worked great. It did everything I wanted it to do, but it was a $100 combo from Lose, and nothing against Lose, but I was ready for a step up. I was out looking around on Amazon one day, and found a fantastic rod. I found my Dobyns Maverick MK702 SF rod, which for those of you listening, it's a 7-foot medium light fast spinning rod. It's got the EVA foam handles. It's the nice blue color with the black. It's the Maverick series, so it's more of an entry level Dobyns, but it gets me into the Dobyns game. And I love my other Dobyns rods, so I figured I'd like this one too. So I bought it, and then I thought, man, I need a reel to match it. So I walked my happy butt on down to Academy, and I say walk, drove. And I'd done some research, and I was between some Shimanos and Daiwas, and I chose the Shimano Nasky FC 2500 and began fishing it. And guys, my honest opinion on that is I hated it. From day one, it had issues. It had a weird grinding sensation to it. It was loud. It wasn't smooth at all. It didn't feel like it could fight a fish reel. I did not like this. And within 2 weeks, I had returned it. I was over it. It was not what I wanted to spend $109 on at the time, because that's how much the Nasty FC was. So it was $109.99. Huge disappointment, so I took it back and was going to exchange it. I figured it was defective, but man, if that one's defective, I'm not trying any of the other ones. Because at the same time, I was also having the issues we talked about with my Daiwa Tatula CT reel. So I go back, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, remember, you're having issues with Daiwa. You've had good luck with the other Shimano reel. Let's try Shimano again. Let's give them their chance. So I'm going in, I'm looking around, and I started looking at the Shimano Stratic and the Shimano Vanfords. Those are obviously excellent spinning reels, but I wasn't ready to spend $250 to $300 on a spinning reel, especially not on $120 rod. If I had bought a G Loomis NRX, then maybe sure, but man, I'm not throwing that on the Maverick. It just didn't work for me. So the other Shimano spinning reel that they had there, and at the time I actually needed a spinning reel because I was leaving that weekend to go on a fishing trip up north, and I needed a spinning reel because if you're going fishing up north, you gotta have spinning gear. So Academy had the Miravel there, and they had it in two sizes. They had the 3000 size and the 2500 size. And the main difference, obviously, besides a little bit bigger, was the handle on it. So the 3000 size had like the T handle. If you go and look at it, the handle looks like a T. It looks like it's made to really put your pointer and your middle finger around and really grab and crank on it, which for me on a 3000 size doesn't seem necessary. But I also held and played with it in my hand, and they had an S702 SF at Academy I could check out. I put it on it. It felt bad. I didn't like it. I hated the handle. It was uncomfortable, and it didn't match having a 7-foot medium light spinning rod. Maybe a medium or medium heavy, it might have been more applicable, but this is a very, very light rod that I've got, and it just didn't fit the bill. So then I picked up the 2500 HG, which is I think their heavy gearing series. I think that's what HG stands for, and absolutely loved it. It was a lot lighter, at least it felt that way. It was smooth, and it looked good. It was the right size, paired well on the 702 SF. So I bought it, and I bought it for $129.99, which is pretty good considering it's now $145. So I did pretty good on that. So that's the reel that I've got. That's how I got to it. Again, this is going to be specifically the Shimano Miravel 2500 HG spinning reel. That is the reel. I'm not looking at the 3000 size. If you want to learn about 3000 size, I'd go listen to someone who's got one. I'm sure it fishes very differently than this one. So let's talk specs and the description. So We're going to talk first, we're going to go to Shimano's website and we're going to click on the 2500 Miravel HG. We're going to read what they say. So, they say in the description, the newest addition to Shimano's Magnum Light series of spinning reels. Miravel is a lightweight yet powerful reel with fierce versatility for the multi-species angler. Built utilizing Shimano's legendary carbon-infused CI4 Plus body to provide a lightweight platform and increased sensitivity, the Miravel also features Shimano's Magnum Light rotor to allow for an effortless startup and quick hook sets. Sporting a trifecta of Shimano premium reel technologies, cold-forged Hagen, H-A-G-A-N-E is how you spell it, gear, silent drive, and X-ship provides durable gearing with tighter tolerances for smoother reeling performance. Fish confidently with the Miravel in hand, the newest member of the Magnum Light series is ready for the challenge. So the first thing that stuck out to me was Magnum Light. So I have their MGL Corrado and love it. I love the MGL spool on there. I like the Magnum Light technology. We're going to talk about each of those technologies in depth in a minute, but first we're going to go over the specs. So we're going to go over the 2500 HG and the 3000 HG, just so you can see a little bit of the difference there, and then see why I chose the 2500. Again, remember, it's a 7-foot medium light fast spinning rod. So they both come in the 6.2 to 1 gear ratio, both have 20 pounds of max drag, and they both weigh 7.2 ounces. So that's where they are identical. They both have, so the mono capacity for the 2500, which is the one I have, 8 pounds is 140 yards, and 10 pounds is 120. I used 10-pound mono on this. I did not go braid this time. We'll talk about that in a bit. And for the 3000, 6 pounds, that's 230 yards. 8 pounds is 170, so 30 more yards of 8 pound. And then 10 pounds is 140 yards, which is 20 more pounds of 10 pound. Braid, we're not going to talk about braid because that's just getting into way too many numbers. Both have 36 inches of line retrieve per crank, which is quite fast. 5+1 ball bearings, and currently MSRP'd at $144.99. So very similar reels. Only difference is a little bit more line. You don't actually take up any more line, and then a different handle between the two. And I didn't like the little bit bulkier. I didn't like the little bit. I didn't need more line. 120 yards is plenty enough for me. I mean, I don't know what you guys are fishing with this, but 120 yards is everything I need. And I didn't like the T-wing handle. I didn't need a little bit bigger. So let's go into the technology here. So this is where it got really cool for me. So the first thing they have here, and this is all listed on their website, is the G-free body. We're going to talk about what each of these means, and then I'll give you my opinion on it and if I've noticed it. G-free body technology has been developed to shift the reel's to shift the reel's center of gravity closer to the angler's hand to reduce fatigue and enhance casting comfort. I have noticed, you guys, and this is also a nod to the rod because Dobyns builds extremely balanced rods. This combo, you guys, is heads and tails lighter than the old Lewis Mock Smash. I mean, I picked up the Mock Smash to fish it a couple weeks ago, and it felt just bulky. I felt like I couldn't maneuver it. It felt huge in my hand, and I didn't enjoy fishing with it. I really, really love this combo that I've got now, and I'm sure if I upgrade in the future with other stuff from Shimano and Dobyns, it's going to be just as good. But I definitely can feel how that real center of gravity is very well matched up with this Dobyns Maverick. It feels super light. I don't get tired of holding it. I can cast it very well. I do love it. Moving on to the propulsion. The spool itself actually has a special spool ring shape. It kind of like the way it rounds out at the edge, which rectifies an effect on the line and realizes both suppression of line trouble and long casting performance. So pretty much it keeps the line it should help it from getting wind knotted, and it helps you to just bomb cast. I have no problem bomb casting this. I have some problems with wind knots, but it's not a huge issue. They never get bad enough where I've had to cut so far, knock on wood. So we haven't had any issue there. Moving on to the CI4 Plus spool. Or the CI4 Plus technology, sorry. So originally there's a CI4 technology, which Shimano created. It's a material that is reinforced with carbon fiber that has lighter and higher strength than conventional resin material. So the CI4 Plus, as you guys can imagine, then is an advanced version of the original CI4. It is 2.5 times more rigid than its predecessor while improving on lightness and rigidity. Reel bodies and rotors built with CI4 Plus are further reduced in weight and size. Again, guys, this reel is ridiculously light. It feels strong in the hand. I've caught over 4 pound fish on this thing, and it feels like it's up for the fight. I just get worried about the rod tip and the line more than the reel itself. The reel seems to be right where it needs to be. Very strong, very smooth. It does everything it's supposed to do. Moving on to the cross carbon drag system. This provides a wider range of drag settings compared to traditional materials. Don't know how or why, but they claim it to be their smoothest drag performance ever while providing anglers increased durability. I will say this, the drag on this is really nice. There is a ton of sensitivity in it. You can really twist it all the way up. You can loosen it all the way out. And there's probably a bajillion different settings in between it that you can go to. It doesn't feel like it's popping when they pull on it. Sometimes if you've had like cheaper drags, it kind of feels like it's like clicking gears, like pop, pop, pop as the fish is pulling it. You feel like it's going to like rip your line. This does not feel like that, honestly. It feels really smooth. It kind of just gets pulled against it, and that's just how it is. I've had no problem, again, fighting nice-sized fish, getting good hook sets. I've never had the drag slip when it didn't need to. Overall, I'm very impressed with the drag here. Moving on to the Hagen gear, is how we're going to go with it. Hagen, Hagane. It's the gearing system within the actual reel itself. Here's what they state. With amazing strength and durability, this gear is at the very heart of most Shimano reels. Shimano, through the application of state-of-the-art technologies, gives anglers the long-lasting smoothness and pleasure that is felt when anglers first use the reel, and it happens over and over again. Sorry, their wording is really weird. I'm struggling to read through it. There's actually no cutting work applied to the teeth, and it's all done in fabrication. The entire surface is calculated in new detail by special 3D design and then formed through cold forging technology. The result is what they call assured resilience. It is the fruit of Shimano's inexhaustible technology, and it's going to continue to apply good strength and durability. And it's what they call the fundamental concept of Shimano reels. So pretty much a lot of big words and a lot of jibber jabber for it's good gearing. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be strong. It's not going to break. It's not going to slip. And boys, have the truth, you guys. This has been, I mean, it is, you almost don't feel like you're reeling against anything. It is just so freaking smooth. It is just absolute butter when you're reeling in a fish or just reeling in a lure itself. It feels strong. I don't ever feel any sort of slipping when I reel it in. The only thing that obviously happens because if you're reeling a big fish and there's drag, but I don't feel the actual gear slipping, which is really, really nice. The gearing on this is excellent. It's quiet, like I said. It's really smooth. It is everything you'd want gearing to be and more. Moving on to the X-Ship. X-Ship is the way that the gearing goes together, how it actually like combines. So it's not like the gear itself, it's how like the gears connect. It provides improved gear durability by supporting the pinion gear on both ends with bearings. Pinion gear maintains precise alignment with the drive gear. This allows the gears to stay in the same position under the heaviest loads. The added benefit of X-Ship technology is that friction between the shaft and the gear are eliminated. This further benefits anglers with enhanced casting performance and casting distance of lighter lures. I can bomb cast. I agree with that. I've had good casting performance. Like I said, light lures go far. I can throw, 1/32 ounce Ned rigs on this thing. I've noticed again, it's very smooth. Good alignment. Doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It's a good feeling gearing. So more of it with silent drive is just going to talk about how silent it is. It's to remove unnecessary noise and vibration, which, yeah, it does that. It's, again, smooth, quiet, exactly what you'd want. The Magnum Light rotor is, so here's what it says. This rotor technology is Shimano's proprietary carbon infused with CI4 plus material to reduce overall rotor weight compared to standard rotor construction without sacrificing overall strength and durability. Magnum Light rotors enhance this performance by reducing the initial startup inertia, providing effortless rotation for quick reactions and faster hook sets. Honestly, I mean, I can't tell you if I've noticed this or not. I like my Magnum Light spool in my Corrado. I've noticed it more on my casting reel. I don't know how much it plays on a spinning reel, but I'll take it. I like the MGL spool, so if they're going to keep the Magnum Light technology and stuff, that works for me. I'll take it. Core protection, that's the last piece of technology from this whole spiel. So sorry, I know it's a lot of tech. We're getting into the nitty gritty though a little bit. And then we'll talk about, this will be the last one, then we're gonna move on. So core protection, it is the core. So the concept of core protection is simple: to provide water resistance without creating a heavy rotational feeling. There are three key areas of the reel that require protection. It's the roller clutch, the body, and the line roller. So they kind of just make sure that water doesn't bother it. It doesn't lose its slickness. It doesn't get in there and rust, which I have noticed has been really nice so far because I fished it in the rain. Obviously, water gets in there when you're fishing and there's water on the line. So I have noticed a really good, so far, obviously I've only had this for about 2 months. So hopefully in the next year or two, I can give you guys more information. But so far, it's been really nice. So that is going to be all the technology, the specs, the price, all of that crazy information. And now we're going to move on to me and my fishing. So, what do I fish with this rod and reel? Big ones: flukes, trick worms, craws, small senkos. So when I say like 5-inch senkos, I'm not throwing like 7-inch, 8-inch senkos on here. Ned rigs, small spinner baits, inline spinners, small whopper ploppers. Haven't thrown poppers on this yet. I'd be intrigued to try a popper on here. That might be fun. But pretty much just smaller, finessier baits. This reel feels absolutely great when I'm throwing these ultralight lures. Those I'm like there's nothing there. It can also chuck out, like I said, some bigger worms, 5 and 6-inch senkos. It can absolutely bomb cast those. And it can reel them in no problem. It doesn't feel like there's any issue with those. There's plenty of grip, plenty of drag and grip there. So if you need to set a hook home on a craw or on a fluke, or whatever, if you don't have an exposed hook, you're still able to. Nothing slips there. Again, I am throwing this on with 10-pound mono, and we're going to talk about the negatives first. So why is it on mono? So I tried to spool on braid, and it didn't go well. I don't know if it was the type of braid I used. I used a spider wire braid, which I've heard good and bad things about. It went terribly though. Honestly, it felt really rough as it came through the bail. It wasn't good. So that's why I stuck with mono. And that's really the only negative I've had. Is I didn't have problems with braid on my Mock Smash, and I had problems with braid on this. So I don't know if that was just the braid's fault, or maybe this reel isn't made to use braid. But I personally kind of prefer mono anyways, just so I'm not popping knots on a harder hook section. There's some stretch in the mono, which helps. So positives. So far in the 2 months I've had this, I've absolutely loved this reel, you guys. It is lightweight. It pairs extremely well with my 702 SF rod. The color matches well too, which is nice. I like having a good color match. All of that kind of contradicts my all-around casting combo, but that's okay. But it's a good-looking, subtle combo that is extremely functional. Again, I can throw a wide variety of baits on here. I can fight bigger fish. It's everything's sensitive enough. I can fight little pumpkin seed and tiny bluegill. But it's been really nice. Very little issues. I've had the occasional wind knot, but again, nothing too bad. You're going to get that on everything. That's more of a line thing than anything else, I think. Sometimes it has to do with how the reel is working, but overall, not a big deal. The bail has a very firm click, and I've actually got it right here with me. So I've got the rod and reel right here, and I want you guys to listen to this. Whoops, I'm banging my rod on stuff. So here's the bail opening. Hear that? So close, and then open. It locks in place like crazy, you guys. It is the absolute, and then here's the actual reel reeling. Ready? You don't even hear it, you guys. It is that freaking quiet. You can barely even hear it moving. Hang on, let me put this down. Sorry, I had to put that down so I didn't bang it into anything else. But my God, guys, it's a firm click on the bail. It feels like it's in place. It's not going to pop back. It's not going to close up when you're casting and make a mess. Nice smoothness and quietness. The drag is very smooth. I believe it clicks. I don't remember off the top of my head. Let's see if the drag clicks. Here's turning the drag. Yep, nice sound on that. So there's our drag. Nice clicking drag as well, which is always nice. I never feel too underpowered when fighting fish. Obviously, with spinning gear, you're going to finesse the fish. We're going to play it more. But if I need to horse a fish with it, or if I need to bank flip with it a little bit, I feel like I've got enough there to bank flip some smaller fish. Obviously, 3.5 and 4 pound fish, I'm not bank flipping more just because of the rod than anything. But the reels just felt nice. The handle is really nice too, a nice rubber grip on it, nice metal on the end. It looks nice. It looks quality. You can get good grip on it even with wet fingers if it's cold. And again, the reeling itself is wildly smooth. Nothing, like my Nasky FC or the Mock Smash. This reel, honestly, guys, is an amazing reel. And even at 145 bucks, it might be the best reel out there in the price range, just because it just is great, guys. I cannot recommend this reel enough to you guys. If you haven't tried it, you're in the market for a spinning reel, give the Shimano Miravel 250 or 2500 HG a try. So that is this week's episode for you guys. That is my review of the Shimano 2500 Miravel HG. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to drop a positive review for us on whatever podcast platform you tune in with. We are on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, and Amazon podcasts, so check us out on all those. Drop us a follow and check out my Instagram and YouTube as well. Both are Tyler Plackey Fishing. If you found this on YouTube, congrats, you already found it. So drop a sub. But yeah, go ahead and check those out. You can kind of keep up with me with what I'm doing. You can DM me suggestions for the show, ask questions for the tackle box, or just talk with me. We'll talk fishing, we'll talk life, whatever you want to talk. And go to my YouTube, check out my videos there, all the fishing I'm doing there. Got some cool stuff coming up, especially with the use of this rod and reel that is going to be coming out next week. So you guys will enjoy seeing that. So thank you guys again so much for listening every week and dedicating your time to the show. I really do appreciate it. This show is a ton of fun to put together. And seeing your guys' positive comments, you guys, the show growing a little bit has been a ton of fun, and it is the reason I do it. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the show as much as I'm enjoying putting it on for you. So thank you guys again so much for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, you guys, tight lines, y'all.